Hi guys, so I have a couple of minutes before Denver has to wake up from his big nap in the day. It is currently 1:45 and he wakes up at 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna try and make this video as quick as possible. But I wanted to talk to you guys about sleep training and how we schedule our days. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband works full-time. I have a 6-month-old little baby. His name is Denver, and he has been sleeping through the night since he was 9 weeks old. If I'm looking over there, I'm looking at his monitor, by the way. He's starting to kind of move around and stuff like that. A couple of things to preface is he is breastfed, but he is bottle breastfed because I exclusively pump. He already eats food. He also takes a pacifier. So the way that we did it is his nursery is upstairs and our room is downstairs, and because he's my first baby and because it's so far away, I just didn't feel comfortable with having him sleeping in his room at the very beginning. And I mean, he got up every 3 hours to have a bottle, so like I don't really want to get up every 3 hours and have to walk up the stairs, you know? What we ended up doing is he slept in our room, and we had absolutely no schedule for him for the first 4 weeks, probably more like 5 weeks, because we were just enjoying our little angel baby. I originally tried my own schedule. It didn't work that well, so that's why we didn't start on the schedule until about 7 weeks. We started on Moms on Call. Now, if you know what Moms on Call is, great. If you don't, it is a sleep training book. You can buy it on Amazon. It comes with schedules that you can adjust to your own. It comes with explanations on sleep training and all that kind of stuff. I have a lot of background when it comes to sleep training babies. I worked in an infant room for 5 years in a daycare and another 2 or 3 years of older ages. So I have a lot of background when it comes to babies and sleep training and stuff. So I didn't feel the need to actually read the book, although I did read Baby Wise. That was donated to me by a mom at the daycare that I was working at the time when I was pregnant, and it was so sweet of her. Go do your research, see what you like as a parent, like what kind of style you want to do. I know sleep training is a very difficult thing for people to even consider. So what we did is at 7 weeks, we started using the Moms on Call schedule. We kind of adjust every schedule to what we need as a family, and because he bathes in the mornings, we moved his bedtime back 30 minutes. So instead of going to sleep at 7, he goes to sleep at 7:30, but he still has his bottles and food pretty much at the same times. He sleeps from 7:30 to 6:30 every single day, sleeps through the night. We started him on that schedule. We started doing like a nighttime routine where we changed him into his PJs. We originally gave him his bottle and then would change him into his PJs, and then it would take him about 20 minutes to go to sleep. But then a couple of months ago, I decided to change it where we change him into his PJs first and then give him his bottle, and then we give him about 15 minutes and then he goes to sleep and he falls asleep almost immediately. So it's not too much of a ruckus afterwards. So we would put him in bed and we would give him his pacifier because he came out sucking his thumb. So I can't take his thumb away later, so I made sure to get him a passy. We love the Ryan and Rose pacifiers, the flat pats. I do love Moms on Call because you have the option of not feeding your baby before they go to sleep, so they won't need a bottle or breast before they go to sleep. So that really helps when you're training your kid to not need a bottle anymore. That helps to like kind of alleviate the bottles because they're not in need of that when they go to sleep. Okay, so when we first started sleep training him, he would wake up about 3 times a night, sometimes 4 times a night. We originally, when he was still downstairs, we tried to stretch him an extra hour on top of what he was going during the day with his bottles. With our pediatricians, go ahead. What we did is we started stretching him to 4 hours at night. And then he would make it to 4 hours, we would stretch him to 5 hours at night. And then when we got to 6 hours, we were like, okay, maybe he can make it through the night. Instead of giving him a bottle in the middle of the night, we stopped giving him that bottle. We upped his bottle right before he goes to bed. And then we just adjusted him and gave him his pacifier every time that he woke up. It took about a week and a half of Alex getting up, going upstairs every 4 to 5 hours. He one day just decided, that is what I want to do. I want to sleep through the night. That went on for a month and a half, and then sleep regression hit at 4 months. And all he did was get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and we just had to readjust him and he would go back to sleep. The sleep regression only lasted for about a week, which I know we're kind of lucky when it comes to that, but I think that has to do with our schedule. There are 2 things that I can suggest to you to focus on is feeding schedule and nap schedule. Your baby needs to get fed every single day at the exact same times. If you feed your baby when it is time to feed your baby with a 15-minute window, your baby will not get hungry or ask for food when it's not time to eat. If your baby doesn't have to ask for food, they know that you will feed them when it is time to eat. But I would start with the bottles or the feedings and then transition into also scheduling the naps in at certain times, trying to like stretch them awake or something. But if your baby really likes napping during the day, that's totally fine. Mom's Uncle actually says that the more they sleep during the day, the more they want to sleep at night. Hi. Hi. What's mommy doing?
What a face.
Hi. Anyway. Where was I? Like, that's the next step, is like scheduling the naps. If your baby wants to sleep for 2 hours when they're supposed to sleep for an hour and a half, that's one of those things that you just have to adjust, and then try to like kind of move them up a little bit more, like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Try to stretch awake times to the nap time. That's the next step. Your baby needs structure more than you realize. Kids need so much structure, and they need, like, they're like sponges right now, so it's really important. Like, the toys that you have for them is so important, and just as much the sleep is important. Like, you know, they're learning all these things. They're like little sponges right now, so it's important to give your baby that time. And I truly believe that the best medicine for a baby is sleep. There are a couple of concerns when it comes to like sleeping through the night. A lot of people think that some kids shouldn't sleep through the night because they're like hungry or whatever. Talk to your pediatrician. If your pediatrician thinks that it is totally fine to let your baby wait until they're actually hungry, then it's a perfect time to start sleep training. Our pediatrician said that he could go all night without eating because he's a good eater. So we felt comfortable with sleep training him at that point. Another concern is, like I said, crying it out. Denver never cried it out. He fussed it out, but once he started crying, we would pick him up, remove him from the situation for a couple minutes, and then put him back in the situation. The same with all the other things that he's going through right now, food and like naps and all that kind of stuff too. Another thing is the scheduling when you go other places. Like, when you have a schedule, it's a lot easier to go places with a kid because you can kind of gauge where they're gonna be in their schedule, so you can set that up. Another thing is, what if I can't keep up with the schedule? What if I can't, like, what if it completely messes up? What if he wakes up at 5 a.m. one morning and I just can't get him back to sleep? Just take a breath, take a step back, and adjust accordingly. It is okay to sometimes not have your schedule work out exactly the way you want it to. Like a couple of days ago, I woke up a little late because I wake up at 5:30 to pump, and then at 6 I get ready for the day, and then at 6:30 I get Denver up. Well, I woke up at 6 o'clock and I was like, oh my gosh, Denver has to get up. So I got him up 30 minutes early, and I was like, he's gonna be 30 minutes early on everything. He wasn't. I adjusted him accordingly, and he got right back on his feeding schedule, right back on his normal schedule. And it's just, you just have to roll with the punches. You just have to roll with the day and see what it brings you. Another question that people have is like sound machines. Is it necessary? Is it not necessary? I think it is, because I think it's very important for your kid to hear something while they're sleeping, so they're not used to like complete silence. I have 2 giant dogs. I have a little pug that thinks that she's giant, so she barks at everything. I have a cat that meows all day long, and I love for there to be some type of noise in the house. So it's never really quiet in my house, but even though it's never really quiet in my house, we still have the white noise machine going on, like this little river sound during the day. And when he's at his Oma's house, it is like ocean sounds, and when he's at his grandma's house, it is, or Grammy's house, it is like birds chirping. And then at night, we turn on the actual like white noise. If you don't have any experience with babies whatsoever, I suggest that you read the books. You decide what you want as a parent, like what your parenting style is, and then you read the book that you choose. Like I said, the two that I suggest is Moms on Call and Baby Wise. That is how we sleep trained him. You just have to be consistent. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck for a week and a half, 2 weeks, sometimes even 3. It's not gonna be great waking up every 3 to 4 hours to go and readjust him because he woke up and put his passy back in, and then wake up again 3 hours later. It's not gonna be great, but is a temporary problem or a permanent solution. He's gonna work through sleep regression a lot faster and better and easier. It's gonna be so much better for your family. You're gonna have the ability to, at some point, put your baby in bed at 7:30, your baby goes to sleep at 7:30, and you have from 7:30 until you go to bed to spend time with your husband. I love to use Denver's first nap as quiet time, his second nap as productive time, and then his third nap is usually when we get like the majority of dinner and like the kitchen clean and all that kind of stuff. And then we do family time between 6 and 7:30, and that's when he goes to sleep. So, and then from 7:30 until about 9 is when me and Alex do our devotional or watch a show that we recently just went through the entire Marvel universe. Your baby is going through so many things, growing so fast, adjusting so much. It's just, I think sleep is the best medicine. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.